Welcome. Thank you, Coach Ted Gustus, for joining us today. We're excited to have you here. And everyone, welcome to our Seeds for Your Soul Saturdays. You get to hear from professional life coaches, professionals in various healing modalities about how to support yourself through almost any issue. So I'm really glad to be able to provide this platform that started with our JAIA Youth Council. And so to introduce our guest today, I'm going to pass the mic over to Shawana.
Coach Ted Gustus started his career in the New York City Department of Education in 1977 as a paraprofessional. From 1980 to 2003, he worked as a crisis intervention teacher for special needs students, a peer mediator, a conflict resolution, life skills coach, a basketball coach, an athletic director of PAL, a Big Apple Games instructor, and a basketball coach at Canarsie High School. Currently, Coach Gustus is the PSAL Commissioner of Basketball for the Borough of Brooklyn. Coach Ted Gustus is also an author and motivational speaker. He has received a letter from President Barack Obama for his lifetime work as a teacher, community leader, and a coach. Coach Gustus instills hope by providing a vivid description of what growing through experiences feels, looks, tastes, and sounds like. And I am happy to welcome Coach Gustus to our Seed for Your Soul Saturdays.
Thank you, Shawana. Thank you, Shawana. I appreciate it so very much. So, guys, first thing I want to tell you is I am a strong believer of this quote: "We don't count people, we make people count." I have a statement that I always say: when change is necessary, not to change can be destructive. My mother, uh, she died when I was 9 years old. And I never forget, I found her uh, on the floor, and she was on the floor of the apartment because she was a drinker. She was an alcoholic, and her customary position was on the floor of our apartment. Here I am, a 9 year old, and I go to wake my mother up, and she just didn't get up. I remember that as just as if it was yesterday. And but as I was trying to wake her, she had a song on, and the song was Sam Cooke's song, which was her favorite song, called "A Change Is Gonna Come." And at that particular time in my life, I didn't know my father, and it was all sorts of chaos. I'm the youngest in my family of five, and it's just like, wow, my mother died, so where am I going to go? Who are we going to go? No father, no things. But that song stuck in my mind that a change is going to come. A change is going to come. So even as my mother died, she it was this belief that she instilled with me in that song: a change is going to come. So I always believed that as I began my journey of my life, and that no matter what, I would never stay in that conditions that we were in. As I look at George Bernard Shaw's statement, where progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. So my school teacher at the time, I was in like the fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade. I got left back because I was traveling. My family used to move all over the place, and I used to go from house to house. And I ran into this school teacher, and I tell the story as well. And she took a great interest in me. And she took me to her house. Back in the days, you can do those kind of things. And I began to see the change that I was looking for. I saw it in her house because she had a piano, a color TV, all the things that we didn't have at our house. And I began to see a whole new different perspective in my life, for my life. Chinese bamboo is an incredible tree that you plant it and then you expecting it to grow overnight or maybe as fast as the other trees. And what we discovered is that that bamboo tree takes years before it can grow up. But meanwhile, it takes 5 years where it's growing down. Someone taught me about it. I'll never forget, I was in my junior high school and the teacher taught us about this tree. And it immediately had an impact on me because I was looking at my life and I related it to my life, because what I related to my life is that all the negative things that was taking place in my life was preparing me for this tree that I would become. After I lost my mother, my father came back into my life. Then I lost my sister. She died from heroin, taking drugs. Then I lost my other sister, who was hit by a car right in front of me and basically killed in front of my face um, by someone drinking and driving. So all of these things was occurring and it just felt like I was abandoned. I felt that everybody that came into my life was just falling, just going away, you know? And I never forget, I used to tell my sister, because I'm the youngest, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be like a bamboo tree, a Chinese bamboo tree. And she was like, what are you talking about? A bamboo tree? I was like, well, yes, I am gonna grow as high as this bamboo tree. And I talk about that because what I learned was the foundation that was being built so that I could begin to create this life above ground as everything was being built below. So that when I be hit with more storms, that I was gonna get more things that was gonna come in my life, but I would be able to stand because of all the things that actually came into my life. So I'm saying that if you don't water that plant and be patient on a regular basis, then what can happen to you is that plant would never grow. And these people came into my life, and each one of them came into my life. Not only did they breathe one breath in me, but they also continue to water. They show care, they show commitment, they show consistency. And those are the 3 C's that I talk about when you're trying to build something, help someone get to the next level. So I wrote a book called Confessions of a Mad Black Coach. And everybody said, what are you mad about, coach? Mad means make a difference. I was an angry, mad person because of my life, and I had to do something different. I had to make a difference. Because if I didn't start making a difference in somebody else's life and making a difference in other people's life, then I would have been mad, I would have been angry, I have all the reasons to do that. But I stayed focused on that bamboo tree. And I really felt and believed that I was that tree. And that ultimately, after those 5 years of growth, that I would continue to grow. And this tree would have so much to offer the world that I had to just stay consistent. And what happened is people started to come into my life that helped me out. And that's so important. The biggest thing I had going for me, I was willing to change. I was willing to change. I didn't know everything. I wanted to find out all the different things. I remember Coach Fox teaching me basketball, and I'm like, Lord, why should I have to pass the ball and cut and all of those things? And I could just dribble right through people like I'm good. I could do that. And he was, well, there's another side of the game. There's this side of the game, Teddy. You don't know about this. And that's why you come to college, to learn more stuff that you don't know. And I had to give in. I had to be that seed that wanted to grow. And as a direct result of that, I began to grow just from this man teaching me the game of basketball and relating it to the game of life. I have a piece called that I'm doing with John Sally, who's one of my former ball players, and it's called Coach Fix My Hood. And I'm calling on coaches to unite that work in the hood to join me in learning how to communicate, how to work with our young boys. Today, the kid can get shot, somebody can get shot, and he has to go to play basketball, and you wonder why he's late. Oh, somebody just got shot in this building, but you're yelling at him because he came late. You don't understand what's going on with this kid. His only safe haven could be just that place with you. He never wants to let you down. So I had coaches that came into my life, and each one of them opened up for me to speak. Because even when people would say, man, psychologically, how did you deal with all what you had? I had coaches, and these coaches were caring, these coaches were consistent, and they were committed. And today I love them and respect them because of the way they handle me as a person. So, um, and I've been coaching for 45 years, and I hope I have done the same for other young. That's the formula. That's the game plan I talk about.
Right.
How we can do this. I don't think I know how to do it. I know because I've seen the results of love and how you interject love into young boys and how they respond to it and grow up and respect. I have another book I call The Power in One Breath. And I believe that when we lose, contribute our last breath, our final breath, like my mom's did, is breathing life into me. So her breath never goes. Her body may go and everything, but her breath is my ancestors' breath. So I see that. And even though she's not here physically, she has been with me through the breath. So every time I do this, I am breathing, ushering her and all other my people that died around me into me. I was speaking on the internet, and I got a call from some Chinese people from China, and I was talking about the power in one breath, and they said, you know, we saw you on the internet on YouTube, and you was doing a speech about that. And we know you're a coach. Uh, we would like to fly you into China, Hong Kong, and speak to all our coaches. And before I knew, me flying first class out to China and Hong Kong, I believed in the breath. It took me across the world. Took me across the world. So I tell young people, don't, when you have death in your family and so forth, uh, bring it in, usher it in as the breath. And then you'll see things open up for you tremendous over the years. And to get a letter from the President of the United States, if my mother was here to see that, and these are the things that she said that I will become. She really did, and it's amazing how the words that we speak can come into fruition as long as we're consistent, persistent, and so forth in terms of what we're doing.
Coach Gustus, thank you. We can't thank you enough for coming.